Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys today. I just feel like there's anticipation that we haven't really had in quite a while. Maybe you can go back to the Chiefs game and the 49ers laid an egg. Maybe you can go back to some of the divisional games, whatever that is. But it just feels like there's something big on the precipice for the 49ers. Yeah, I get it. 4-game win streak. You're in first game by basically 2 games. You're in first place by basically 2 games. Things are going well. But on top of all these things, I feel like the 49ers have not even gotten close to as good a team as they could be. And we got great news today. Not only once, we got 2 great newses. Newses? I think newses is plural, right? News, newsI, newsuses. We got 2 good newsuses today, which is awesome. So I want to kind of start with those things, okay? Because let's be honest, I've been covering the 49ers for 7 years. And I feel like in this 7 years, it has just been plagued with injuries. Now, lots of positives as well, and it's easy to kind of get bogged down in the negativity and whatever else. But the injuries have been a lot. And Christian McCaffrey had his knee issue right after Elijah Mitchell went down. So it was just like, and I talk about it all the time. It's not so much that injuries are a bad thing. It's that stacking injuries are a bad thing. What's up, Nick? Nicholas Pari says, let's go, John. Can't wait for this weekend. He's coming out, man. I can't wait to see this dude. We party all the time together. It was awesome hanging out in Atlanta and Charlotte. So pumped about this weekend, hanging out with my good friend. Hopefully you guys are coming out with us. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We'll talk about that later. But injuries are bad. Stacking injuries at the same position is catastrophic, which the 49ers tend to do better than anybody. You remember last year, we had 5 centers injured before we even took a snap for the regular season. 5 centers. I think it was 2 years ago. 4 running backs last year. You just go on and on and on. Defensive tackles lost 3 this year with Maurice Hurst, Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead. Then on basically 1 quarter, you lose Elijah Mitchell again, which just breaks my heart because he's such a good dude. And then you get a report, Christian McCaffrey is having some knee issues. They zoom in on the knee in the broadcast view, and you see the brace on his knee, and it's just like, oh, no. I hated it. Yeah, here we go. Shot J gets it. Channel your early squirrely Dan. Newses. That's right. That's what I like about you. Yeah, very, very good. So, but like, that's the thing. Like, you see these injuries and it just hurts. But news today from Christian McCaffrey himself. Quote, I feel great, end quote, dodged a bullet, end quote. He's fine, practiced in full. You got 1 day rest. All is right. All is well with the world. And you move forward. Now, it's not just about CMC. We got other great news, but I don't want to get to that yet because I want to stick with this running back position. We talked about it with Wayne when we were live on the 49ers, which was cool. We also talked about it a little bit yesterday. But, man, I keep getting asked, who do I play in fantasy, right? Who's the guy to pick up in fantasy? Because it's 3. There's 3 guys. Jordan Mason is who I'm putting my money on. But Kyle Shanahan and his veteran love, right? Which if he's so big into the vet play, that's not going to be TDP. I don't think TDP gets the early crack at this, even though I think he will be involved. It's going to be Tevin Coleman. So I think the true conversation is Tevin Coleman versus JP Mason, the stud himself. So I think that's kind of what you got to watch for here. And I think they bring 2 different things because, if you're wanting, let me say it this way. CMC being healthy is better news for Jordan Mason because you still have that versatile space running back at CMC in the first half. and you still got that thumper like what you had with Elijah Mitchell and JP, right? If CMC was going to miss time, Tevin Coleman would have made more sense as that space, versatile player, routes, all that stuff. And then you would still have Jordan Mason as that thumper because Shanahan seems to have bought into this. Okay, I want two styles of offense. I want space players, and then I want thumpers, right? I want my daddy Shanahan's playbook out there as well. Oh, give me Clinton Portis back there. Give me, Terrell Davis, all those things. That is where Mason fits in, I believe. And I think that he will get those carries. Now, if you were to ask me, okay, who's going to get most touches? Take CMC out of the equation. Tevin Coleman, TDP, Jordan Mason. I don't feel confident enough to bet on this, but I just got to believe the momentum that Jordan Mason brought. I'm still riding high on that, man. I really, really am. Just because the energy that everybody kind of like showed out. They even released the clip of, Kyle Juszczyk. He was mic'd up, going and talking to him and giving him, a hug and all those things. And whenever we were doing the film breakdown for Patreon, which every single offensive snap, defensive snaps up. I'm going to break down the special teams tomorrow morning. So if you haven't done that yet, patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast, or just Google 49ers and Patreon. That'll pull up. Best way to support the show. Content's unreal. For every show we do here, we do basically 2 shows over there. So if you want more John Chapman and whatever else, that is the place to get there. Oh, Coach Cruz, what's up, man? He said, I got the red 23 today. Oh, MJ would be proud. I freaking love it. I love it. But my question was this, even Mike McGlinchey, Michael, double M, picked up, this is huge because you never see it, picked up his teammate Jordan Mason after a play. I've seen Mike McGlinchey pick up maybe 3 or 4 players in his entire time as a 49er. It's not him. That's not what he wants to do. But it was so important, the energy that Mason brought to the 49ers offense to close out the game. Remember, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, never got the ball back to the Saints because just first down. And so you even had Mike McGlinchey go out of his way and pick up the undrafted rookie, which that's crazy to me because, again, you watch literally Mike McGlinchey step over teammates that are on the ground that he just gave up a sack on. I don't know. I think it's an outlier, but it demonstrates the energy or perhaps attitude or mentality. There we go. That's the right word that the 49ers want to bring in the run game. That is punch in your face. You don't get that with CMC. You did with Elijah Mitchell, but when Elijah Mitchell went down, you exhale, right? It's like, damn it, he's hurt again. God, that sucks. Sucks for him, sucks for the team. Sucks for everybody. And if you're an offensive lineman, you want to run the ball down some people's throats. # beast mode, right? One of the best clips of all time. I can't play it on there. Run through somebody's face with a lot more colorful language. None of your business. You're so consistent with this analogy about me being Jim Rome. I have grown to love and appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Oh, Dave, look at this. New Patreon member since last night. That's what's up, Dave. Thank you for the support. But he said, I haven't had a chance to check it all out yet, though. We got you. We got you. And if you have any issues, always DMs are open. I can walk you through, help you find everything that there is. I mean, we have over 300 plus videos on there because that's the cool thing. Once you sign up on Patreon, you get it all. You get it all. You get it all. Draft stuff, Zoom hangouts. You can go back and watch those depending on what tier you join, all that kind of stuff. Scouting reports. I mean, you get it all. As soon as you sign up, it's just like bang. So appreciate that. Thank you so much. We got Mike, big time supporter, # CC in here as well. Donald, thank you for the kind words. He says, great channel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, let me say this, okay? I'm pumped. How do I do this? How do I let everybody, including myself, down easy? Shanahan has a way of toying with our emotions. And I know that the game is much bigger than a heralded, undrafted free agent running back stepping up in a big way. We can't be upset. I'm talking to myself. John Chapman, listen to me. You can't be upset if Jordan Mason doesn't get the work you think he deserves this week. Even though you think it's coming, you can't be that guy, right? Can't be that guy. Yeah, it's team first. It's team first. So anyway, that's CMC. That's the big news. Dodge the bullet there. That is the quote. That's the title of this episode, because CMC feels great. Dodged a bullet. He's good to go. Also on top of that, Jimmy Garoppolo, he feels great. Wasn't too concerned about that, but took some nasty hits from the Saints. But here we go. Number 2 of the most important news is Eric Armstead, another good practice, confirmed he is playing this Sunday to Jennifer Lee Chan, who does amazing work. She's incredible. I cannot stress how big it is to get the big man back on defense. We have had patchwork at the defensive tackle spot. And shout out to Ridgeway, shout out to Givens, shout out to Ty McGill, shout out to Kerry Hyder, shout out to Charles Omenihu. Man, of all those players, like, again, Charles Omenihu, not a defensive tackle. Kerry Hyder, not a defensive tackle. Like, you've got 2 players that are, hey, man, we got to have you go out there. You got to do this job. Oh, coach, that's not my job. I've never played that. You got to do this job. We're the number 1 defense in the NFL with patchwork at certain positions. Jimmy Ward, guess what, man? You're paid as a safety. Yeah, you're the captain of this defense, one of the longest tenured players. Guess what? You got to go play a different position. I don't want to. It's a contract year. You got to go. You got to go. It might not be. I had a coach, my high school coach, who I never really liked or respected. He had this phrase all the time. It may not be fun, but it is necessary. That's what he would always say every time we had to run or do bear crawls or whatever. And it just made me dislike him. Sorry I said that. So channel your anger towards, high school fat John Chapman doing bear crawls. If maybe you felt that with me. And yeah, I love this. Bobby says, I'm happy for Eric Armstead. I hope they limit his snaps. Yes, you don't need him going crazy. Don't need him going crazy. 25 snaps, man. Because, again, if you look at his injury, and this has been misrepresented on a lot of different channels and whatever else, plantar fasciitis in one foot, hairline fracture in another foot. So it's a right and left issue. When he came back, it's not like he came back too early. He just got his foot stepped on, hairline fracture in the other foot. And for these big old dudes, yeah, right here, when you have these dudes come back after a long gap in playtime, they're rusty, don't always make the plays they should. But I'll say this. One of my favorite things about this 2022 narrative that we have found with the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan is evolving. You didn't rush him back. He practiced all last week, traveled with the team to Mexico, went to the Saints. He was practicing in Colorado Springs, went through versus the Saints the entire pregame warm-up, felt fine, and they said, you know what? We're going to sit you one more week. So this is new. This is new because they understand can't rush him back. You got to have him long-term. Got to have him long-term. Oh, yeah. David, Armstead makes such a massive difference, literally and figuratively. He's the biggest mamma jamma out there. He is huge. Him and Kinlaw are huge. Maybe we'll get Kinlaw back eventually. I will say this. One of the things that would be a telling factor, just thinking about this on the fly, of Kinlaw's availability down stretch is if Elijah Mitchell goes on IR. Keep an eye on that because they don't have to make that move until I think Saturday. I could be wrong on that, but whatever, day before. So that is key. So if you see Elijah Mitchell go on IR, that's a telling factor that they're not really expecting Kinlaw to come back. But if Elijah Mitchell does not go on IR, that's kind of thing. Because, again, you've got 8 spots that can go on IR and come back. You've used 6. You got 2 left. Right now, Trey Lance, what you want to keep in your back pocket because, God forbid, look at what happened last week. Jimmy's had lots of injuries. You don't want to roll into the playoffs with Brock Purdy. You would do an accelerated program for Trey Lance, and that's a worst-case scenario. You want to keep that possibility open, right? So that's one, and Javon Kinlaw's 2. If they put Elijah Mitchell on there, now you got to make a choice because you got 3. And again, it's kind of like, how do I say this? It's kind of like going into a fourth quarter at a close game and keeping timeouts in your pocket, never using them. Hashtag a Jeff Saturday, if you will. Like, you want to leave yourself the options of bailing yourself out if something bad happens, if you're a good coach. or an experienced coach. Actually, not even an experienced coach. Anyway, I don't want to get off on that. Whatever. So yeah, and I'm with you, Jose. I think you keep it for Kinlaw and Lance, but if Elijah Mitchell goes on, I think that tells us more about Kinlaw's injury than anything else. Which again, and I'm at the point now where it's like any extra thing that you get from Kinlaw is a huge positive. But if you look at the defense last year, okay, 49ers are the number one defense in the NFL right now. You remember last year, Eric Armstead was playing defensive end, starting defensive end. Wasn't until week 8. They bumped him inside, and that's when Fred Warner went all world. That's when you went on your crazy win streak. That's when all those things started happening. Well, guess what? We're already on our crazy win streak. Fred Warner's already all world. Man, the idea that this defense has not hit its full stride. It has not hit its best play. It's pretty entertaining. I'm pumped about this, man. Like, I have lived through, I've been very lucky. And if you've been a Niners fan for a minute, yeah, you have been lucky. Newer Niners fans, you guys didn't get to experience 1994 and all those things. This is new. That's new for you, right? This could be. You know, we talked about this when we were on live with the 49ers on 49ers.com. The 49ers have only finished with the best defense, scoring defense, twice. That's it. All time. That's it. And so 1984, and then you got to go back to like 1960, I think it was. And so, yeah, I got it right here. Let me scroll down my notes. This is the good thing about keeping all these freaking notes. Yeah, 1960, the 49ers finished with the number one scoring defense. That was Charlie Kruger, Dave Baker, Leo the Lion. Freaking love it. In 1984, that was when Seifert came in. Locke, Keena Turner, Dwayne Board, Fred Dean, all those guys. That's it. Twice. Never with Patrick Willis. Now, if you do look at that 2011, 2012 year, listen to this. 2011, second in points scored. 2012, second in points scored. 2013, third in points scored. That's pretty damn elite. But you're talking about a defense that's had really 2 bad games. That's it. 2 bad games. And that was the Chiefs, right? Which was bad. Greenlaw gets hurt. Everything goes to crap. And then the Falcons game afterwards just couldn't patch up against a powerful run game. I don't know. I don't feel like those are issues anymore. And we're going to find out. You know, everybody keeps talking about the matchup of this game being the amazing Miami offense, which it is amazing, versus the 49ers defense, which is amazing. I get that. And I understand that. And Ket, thank you. 97 defense wasn't bad either. No, they weren't. David, look at this. Been a fan since 87. Let's take a detour here. I want to talk about this. When did you become a fan? Throw that year in there. You don't have to lie. We won't make fun of you for your age. I'm 40. I'm a man. Mike Gundy, what's up? I hate Mike Gundy. I don't like using that, whatever, but it was funny whenever it happened. Throw into the chat. When did you become a fan? And good old Clayton. Sorry for the timing today, which is a little bit different. Clayton's work, he's making money. And, you know, I just got home. I had the opportunity. I actually went skiing this morning. One of the things about living in Pasadena, I was like, man, I want to go. So I went skiing for like 3 hours, came home just so I could record. But very happy. So the cheeks might be redder than normal, which I didn't know was possible. But anyway, I love it. Oh, we got 1984. I love this. Charles T. A lot of 84, 88s, 85. Oh, I love it. 88. I'm 89. Yeah, I was 89 whenever I asked for my jersey. First, my Cowboys stepdad, just to piss him off. Oh, 2018. We got a newer one. I love it. 81, 74. What's up, Scott? Appreciate you, man. 94. I love this. Dave, I'm 46 today. Happy birthday. Been a fan since 88. Whew. Man, I love this. This is incredible. Ket, 89. Don, 80. 94, 80, 2010. What's up, Michael? Welcome. I like the picture you have of Trent Williams basically making fun of Cowboys fans after that playoff win last year. 88 with Will. Oh, my gosh. Big Papa, 75. Flynn, born in 87, so probably 93-ish. We all picked different times, right? Debbie the best. I hope you're feeling better. I really hope you're feeling better. She says 66. Love it. Michael, 79. I love this, man. this offseason, y'all remind me. I want to do an entire series on how people became fans and record those and, just put them in like little 2-minute video clips and infuse those into our offseason content, just because I think it's so important. If people ask me all the time, like, what is it about your show? There's 59er shows. What is it about your show that makes yours different? Right. And I always say, man, I'm just a fan of fans. Like, I love you guys. Kelly, had the wonderful opportunity to meet him and his family, amazing people. And like, that's the thing that I would say, not saying other people aren't. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the reason why I started this was because I love other fans and I want to bring the community together. That's what the whole Rush Trip thing is about, right? Go Fief Coffee 2000. I love it. Shot J. He says, been a fan since 83 or 84. I'm 43, so bam. The baddest 43-year-old to walk this planet Earth is the man Shot J. Let's see here. Fable says, realize my fandom when Mark Bavaro carried our entire secondary on his back in 86. I was so pissed. I love it, man. These stories, they bring it to life. A little before my time, but man, I want to go back and look that up now because I don't know that story. And that's something I need to know. I need to know. Donald Lewis, 78, 79. My uncle in DeBerg were friends. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Cornelius says 84. We got 2002. Man, Jose, he says 1995. Didn't watch the 94 Super Bowl. Still haven't watched my team win. That's okay. This is a good time to be a 49ers fan. And, I said this after the Mexico trip, which was awesome. Think how many international-born fans there are in Mexico City now since that game, since that weekend, since George Kittle, right? Since all those things happened, since you put the beat down. Like, if you watched that game and you lived in Mexico, you are a San Francisco 49ers fan now. So I'm so pumped about the international growing, which especially with the 49ers partnering with Mexico City, it's going to be huge, man. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I love it so much. AJ says 2010, I'm young. That's not your fault. We're just glad to have you, man. Michael, 7192. Whoo, man, I love this. The question is, if you just joined us, when did you become a 49ers fan? That's the question that we are dealing with. And I just love these, man. 1980, 88, all over the place. Happy birthday, Dave, again, my friend. 92. Oh, Danson, what's up? Our trivia winner from our Patreon show. 1981 to 82 in the womb. My mom was pregnant, celebrating a Super Bowl win. That is awesome. I think you and I were like born the same time. My parents were not celebrating a Super Bowl win. Mike says, I'm with you. 40. Chapman, there we go. Love it. 81. Good gosh. I just love this. I just love this. Mosquito Killer, 93. We got 88, 79, 89. Terror Dome, one of the best there is. 1970. Whew. Big Poppy says, do you remember John Brody and John Washington played? I don't, but I do love who John Brody is. And at the Mexico trip, we had not one, but two John Brody jerseys represented by people that showed up, which just is awesome. Long Island Girl, she says 87. Man, this is awesome. I freaking love this. I'm like, I could go all day. This is so cool. This is so cool. Jason says, I can't wait to attend my first 49ers tailgate this weekend. Excited to meet the faithful. Man, thank you. And I'm pumped about this too. We put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of coordination for what's going on this weekend. And just in case you're one of the people that haven't caught on yet, Saturday in Fremont, we've got the great John Taylor and Eric Wright coming out. We also have Mark Clayton and Mark Duper coming out. We're going to have a blast. We're going to be at the Mission Peak Sportsplex. I'm selling general admission tickets. They start at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm going to be there. Giveaways, trivia, competitions. Hear from the legends himself. It's going to be incredible. It's $35 to get in. That's what that is for. And then we got our tailgate. Our tailgate the day of, we're going to be in blue lot number 1. And if you can't see, if you're not watching on YouTube and you want to come hang out with us, we have the map on our Twitter, on our Instagram, on our Facebook. It's on all those things. We're going to be in blue lot number 1. Just look for the 49ers Rush Road Trip flag. Unlimited tacos, beers, seltzers, water, all that kind of stuff. We're setting up a TV. It's going to be a blast. Just look for the flag, 49ers Rush Road Trip.com. That's going to be everywhere. And I do have to say, we just finalized our Seattle details as well. For those of you that like to plan ahead, When we go to Seattle, it's a Thursday night game. So I want to do it a little different. We're going to be partying with the Seattle Faithful chapter, which are some of the best people out there, right? They're behind enemy lines and they roll deep. So we're doing a free event, non-ticketed. Just come hang out Wednesday night at Kel's Irish Pub at 6 p.m. Seattle Faithful is going to be there. We're going to be there. It's going to be real low key, not as intensive as most of our hangouts that we usually do because it's a Wednesday. I don't know what that turnout's going to be like. I just come out, hang out. We'll do some giveaways and stuff like that, but it's going to be a lot more low key. Then we're doing a huge tailgate the day of because the game starts just after 5. So we're going to be tailgating right next to the stadium at Tony T's Sports Lounge, literally less than a block from the stadium, from 1 to 4. Then we're going to walk over together. So Tony T's Sports Lounge, we're going to have a really good time. That's Thursday, the day of. Get your tickets, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. That's where it's going to be. That's where we're going to be at, which I'm super pumped about. Daryl, what's up, man? He says, Niner fan since 86. Watching a guard play fullback before the Bears did it with the fridge. I love it, man. I freaking love it. I appreciate the gift and the support as always. I love it. Oh, look at this. From Kuhnrich. I think I said that right. As soon as the Raiders move to LA, respect, man. Respect. Stick with it. I love it. Dan Case, 1994. Didn't have a home team. This was before the Panthers in North Carolina. We got to hang out with Dan and his family in Carolina, which was awesome. So love watching Dallas and San Francisco battling. Decided whoever got 5 Lombardis first would be my team. Thank God for that 94 Super Bowl. We brought you over to the good guys. I love it. Alpha says the GOAT Jerry Rice won me over. So really 1986, then Lott being a savage. Imagine Lott in today's like NFL. One, the penalties would just be massive. But like, we got so, and I'll say this, the 49ers, I would consider, trying to think just quickly, probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest team in the NFL. Like their attitude and mentality and personality, like Kyle Juszczyk literally breaking his finger, goes to the sideline, pops it back in place and runs back on the field. Like we saw that just like a month ago, had to have surgery and miss a week because of the surgery. But you got Jimmy Ward playing with the club, didn't like it, takes the club off. Like you just got tough guys everywhere. I think Lott would appreciate, right, and respect that. I love it. Jason says, John, any issue with non-Niners fans tailgating with us? Always, dude. One of my favorite things about sports, people don't understand this about me, and I keep trying to explain this. I'm not nice. I'm not a nice person. Conflict is my favorite thing. Maybe because I was raised in a situation where fighting took place all the time. I love conflict. Having said that, yes, we are a family-friendly party everywhere we go. And yes, opposing fans are welcome. Their stories are important too. Now, yeah, are we going to give each other a little bit of, talking trash, whatever? But no way, man. They're always welcome. And I will say this, that brings such a great atmosphere. Why I love football is because you get to sit in a stadium with opposing fans watching the same game. And I've been on the bad end of some of those. I got tackled and punched in Philly. I got a beer poured on me at the NFC Championship game last year. And I don't know. I'm a weird guy. Like I love heightened experiences. And I think that is an example. So yes, 100% always welcome. And we're not going to, good conflict is a good thing, right? So talking trash to other fans, always welcome. And yeah, they're bring them on. Every place we've gone to, we've had fans from other groups. My 2 best friends are probably Philly fans, right? So like, that's kind of the way that it is. Yeah, Uncle Salty's coming out from Seattle. I love it. And Seattle's going to be a good time. So excited about that. Leroy says 1979, he became a fan. Luis, 88. Whew. I love it. I love it. Shache says, you got bouncers for this weekend. I don't. We do have security for Saturday night, but the tailgate, we don't. We just want to have good time. Shache, if you can come out, just come out, bro. I got you. Permaculture, he says, fan since 88, 5 years old. Ooh, I love it. That is awesome. Oh, we got to get to this story. Bobo says, Jesse Sapolo from my hometown. Oh, I'm going to mess this word up. Kalahi Valley, Hawaii. I grew up seeing him come to my elementary school to speak to kids. The only game on TV in Hawaii in the 80s were the 90s because of him. There's such a huge fan base. I've been on the ESPN local channel with Hawaii probably 20 times over the past few years because it's such a big 49ers fan base. Shot Jay says we got a bouncer now. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't messing with that dude. Let's see here. 49ers George, the producer of this show. Is it too late for me and my pops to join Saturday night? God, no. We still got tickets available. The good thing is this is a giant facility. So, yes, we have room. My man, yeah, just text me. We'll take care of all that for you, buddy. I love it, man. I love it. Shajay says, I already got tickets for Saturday and Sunday. It's on. Oh, I'm pumped, guys. Oh, look at this. Steven says, listening from Pohnpei, Micronesia. Love it, Steven. Faithful from abroad. Oh, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And, I'll say this. I saw Seattle Niner Faithful bringing 60 Faithful from Washington this weekend. We've got the UK chapter. If you watch the draft, one of the coolest guys ever came out, and he was the one that announced the Samuel Womack pick on stage. He's going to be coming out partying with us, and, he gets VIP treatment, and he should. He's holding it down for us across the pond over in England. So excited about that, Mr. Flackers. Going to be hanging out with him this weekend. And that's what it's all about. We could get here in this show. Obviously, I think we cover a lot of 49ers content. Hopefully we do. But also it's just the relationships and making these connections. And whenever you see all these awesome people and you put names to these screen names and stories to these screen names, it's just, man, it's a beautiful thing. It is an absolute beautiful thing. So excited about that. Now, I do want to get back to the 49ers content here. But before we do, real quick word from our sponsor. I got a bet for you guys for this week. Just a little teaser before we get started with everything going on, which we'll have our bets special coming up probably tomorrow. You guys know what it is. It is winning season at MyBookie. As always, if you want to enjoy the football games, 49ers, or just NFL, or really any sport in general, you can bet on anything over there. MyBookie.ag. We've been with them for years. Very trusted site. Get your money in, get your money out easily. And on top of that, all season, double deposit bonus. Whenever you first deposit your money, let's say you deposit $250, you get $500 credited to your account if you just use our promo code 49ERS or scan this QR code right to the side of me if you're watching this on YouTube. And again, it just sets you up completely. MyBookie is incredible. Bet with us. We're on Patreon. We share our bets every single week, all season long. So join us, mybookie.ag, promo code 49ers. Bet anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, couple other things I want to talk about on today's show. My bet that I really, really like, it's a 3-team teaser this week. So you get 10 points added onto the spread for every single one of these. I'm taking the Jets plus 13 points over the Vikings. So the Jets can lose by almost 2 touchdowns and still get paid. I'm taking 49ers plus 6 over the Dolphins. Again, it's 10 points. They're minus 4. So you get that 10 points. So as long as the 49ers don't lose by a touchdown, we're good there. And Saints plus 13.5 versus the Bucks. Saints always play the Bucks well, and you can kind of see the theme there. I'm taking defenses. I'm taking 10 points in each game. Bet 10 to win 8. Again, use our promo code 49ers to double your initial deposit. I love it. I freaking love it, man. Now, okay, let's talk about the injury report on the other side. We focus on us all the time, and rightfully so. Dolphins, okay, out. Teron Armstead. Now, he didn't practice. There's a possibility he could play as a pec strain. They thought it was a tear, and he was done for the year. Then it was just a strain. They're saying he's going to be out for a while, but they're trying to put him in there because the other starting tackle, Austin Jackson, he's out. He's not going to play. Miles Gaston, their backup running back, he's out. Limited. Teddy Bridgewater and Raheem Mostert with the knee, both of them. Full. They had a lot of guys come back. Raekwon Davis, Jerron Baker. Those are kind of the big ones. As far as like guys that just came back. Tua with an ankle, he's not in question. Tight end Tanner Connor, Keon Croson, Kadir Kahu, and Robert Jones. Those are all the guys that are back in full. So they've got some major issues because the biggest issue for the entire, there's 2 main issues. One is the offensive line for the Dolphins. It's bad. But Teron Armstead has been incredible. I don't know how he's going to play against Bosa. Now, the thing is, they get rid of the ball so quick, and we'll detail this more on our scouting report episode. You got to get pressure there quick. Now, everybody is talking about the Miami offense versus the 49ers defense, and I get it, right? I get it. They're the best of the best. What about the other side? Because I think this is, okay, 49ers defense, best. Miami offense, best, or at least top two for both of them, like best on best. Now let's flip it. How good is the Miami defense that has to go against the 49ers? Well, in fact, it is really bad. It's really, really bad. Listen to these like totals. The Bears scored 32 points and put up 368 yards on them. Lions scored 27 points, put up almost 400 yards on them. Jets scored 40. Ravens scored 38 and had almost 500 yards total offense. It's not like they're like scary. They're not at all. But they don't pick their schedule, and they're very, very good. You know, they're 8-3. They're a good football team. But like if you look at their defensive ranks, man, 25th out of 32 teams in rushing touchdowns allowed. That's not good. 24th in interceptions. They do not force turnovers. They're just big plays on offense. 22nd in passing yards, 21st in passing touchdowns. They're just not a very good team. 24th in third down percentage. They allow teams to do basically whatever the heck they want against them. There's nothing they're really good at. Like if you look across the spectrum, the only thing they're top 10 in is rush yards allowed. That's it. But that's only because teams throw against them because they score so many points. Now, the 49ers offense this year is a little bit different because you're not run game dependent. I am one of the old school Shanahan people, daddy Shanahan people that says, dude, pound the freaking rock, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. But since Christian McCaffrey has arrived, my shoulders are relaxed. I don't like empty sets. I hate them, in fact, but they work very well. With the pieces that the 49ers have on offense, the days of the 40-plus rush attempts, you're not dependent upon that anymore. You're not, because Garoppolo's not turning the ball over, because his completion percentage is so insane because he's taking the checkdowns to Debo, to Juwan Jennings, to Kyle Juszczyk, to CMC. And so because of that, the run game has somewhat expanded to allow those things to take place. Now, what is the answer that Miami has for, how to stop this 49ers offense? Because nobody's talking about that. And I'm not sure they have that answer. This going from the Saints defense to this Miami defense, that's some real stuff now. That's like going from drinking Natty Light, sorry, I'm from Texas, to doing a shot of like back in Mexico City, right? Doing some awesome tequila or mezcal. Like that's the difference. Now, if you look at the Miami team offensively, they're going from the Houston Texans to the 49ers. It's a huge step up. It's a huge step up. And so the 49ers offense played a great defense. Now we're playing a bad offense. The Miami Dolphins played a terrible defense. Now they're playing the best defense. You see what I'm saying? Like that's, I don't know where Houston ranks. Let me see real quick. Houston ranks defensively 29th in the NFL on defense. They're going from 29 to 1. That's a step up, baby. That's a little bit of a step up, baby. And so, like, I don't know. Yeah, and I'm with you. Jimmy's not going to throw it deep. I don't think he has to. And, I've been adamant on this, that the Jimmy deep balls, even if they're not completed, which they very seldom are a good thing. But for the first time ever, I've changed my ways, ladies and gentlemen. The checkdowns, I long live the check down with this offense and with this defense. And back to this idea of complementary football. Anytime Jimmy G checks the ball down to the flats, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage or whatever, don't care. Smile on this guy's face, right? And again, if you missed this earlier, I call it the Tony Gwynn approach. All you need is singles. That's it. Take the guaranteed single. Allow your studs to turn it into a double or a triple. You don't have to throw a triple. Check it down. Let them get it. That's all you got to do now. And Jimmy plays that role well. And I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. And so, yeah, right here, Flynn, he says, I expect the Niners, though, to go off this week. Last week, they were tired on practice. Monday game, Mexico. Yeah, you go on and on and on. I was exhausted last week. I was so tired coming back from Mexico. Yeah, I didn't play a game. I just drank a bunch. Like, I know they were excited. Kelly, yes, check downs and throwing the ball away. Jimmy Garoppolo's never gone 3 games in a row without a turnover before this current streak. He's at 4 now. If Jimmy G doesn't turn the ball over, the 49ers win this game. I don't give a damn about the Miami offense. Don't care. Because, believe it or not, and you can find lots of people that will disagree here, 49ers offense is just fine. It is just fine. Yeah, have there been issues in the red zone? Sure. But they're not turning the ball over. They're moving the ball just fine. I love it. Well, look at Juan Salas. He's the best there is. How we doing, Count Out Crew? He says, hit that like button, subscribe button. Juan's coming out, man. The biggest celebrity of them all. Juan's going to be there. And Natalie's going to be there, the daughter, which is awesome. She's the sweetest girl in the world. So, yeah, I mean, I'm so pumped about this weekend. Bobo, thank you for the gift. I like the short passes and run. It gives the defense a rest. That's right. 3 and outs are a killer. Man, the interception that was overturned by Garoppolo, that was the first play of that drive. And I was just like, oh, my God, how can you do that to your defense? But the broadcast view didn't show it. Ray McLeod got bumped off his path, right call, whatever else. But, like, you don't have to go back too far to one-play drive turnovers. We've had lots of them in Jimmy Garoppolo's career, but we haven't had any in a while. So allowing the defense to get their rest and come out and play, like, for real, because, and I want to say shout out to The Athletic. I think it was Robert Mays who had this stat on a recent thing. When Nick Bosa is on the field, the 49ers have the second best defense per snap, DVOA. When Nick Bosa is on the sideline, 28th. That's a big drop, right? So giving your defense time on long extended offensive drives where you get multiple first downs, that's imperative on keeping the best player out there. That's Nick Bosa, right? We even talked earlier in this week, fired Matt Rule, Carolina's head coach who just went to Nebraska. He even said they had a full coach. They had a coach that sat in the press box and his only job the whole game was watch 97, and he'd scream into the headset, Bosa out, because they had a whole category of plays on their call sheet for when Bosa was out of the play, whenever he was on the sidelines getting a break. Like, that's the difference 97 makes. Now, this is how complementary football works. Because if you have a terrible offense that has a lot of 3 and outs, Bosa's going to spend more time on the sidelines. But whenever he can get over there, grab a seat, grab some drinks, relax, make his corny jokes about Sackaroonies, and get those defensive adjustments from D'Amico, he doesn't have to sit out as much. That's huge. That's huge. So, I don't know, man. I could not pass up today without talking to you guys about the excitement that I have. The 49ers could lose this game, okay? Like, I'm not trying to, like, blow smoke up your butt and say we're going to win it all and Super Bowl guaranteed, whatever else. No, nobody can do that about any team. Whether you're, the number 1 team in the NFL right now, which I would probably say is, the Chiefs, whatever, you can't say that about them either. That's not it. But what I can say, oh, look at this, Daryl. Thank you for the gift. Our offense can be a great defense through grinding. Oh, man, we got such a smart fan base. Gosh, Daryl, thank you. That's what complementary football is. They work in harmony together. They help each other out. The longer the offense is on the field, which if you look at that Saints game, man, the time of possession was just bananas. We did the Patreon breakdowns. My first half offensive breakdown was like 58 minutes, I think. My second half offensive breakdown was like, I think 25 minutes because they controlled the ball in the first half. They didn't get a lot of points, only got 10. But that kept the defense on the side. So whenever you get to the second half, they weren't feeling exhausted. And because they were on the sidelines, just watching and waiting, everybody was flying to the ball, man. And you get to that turnover play where, Greenlaw stops Kamara just barely, and you've got Talanoa flying. And then by the end of it, you had 9 49ers in frame. You had 2 Saints, 9 49ers. This swarming defensive mentality It changes everything. Changes everything. What's up, David? What's up, man? And so, like, I don't know. Just again, going back to this concept, be excited right now and allow your hopes to get up. And if that means you get let down hard, guess what? That's what sports is. Go back. We talked earlier about when you became a fan, right? For the 49ers. A lot of you guys said 80s, 90s, whatever. We've had a lot of dark damn years in between. We all lived through Chip Kelly. We all lived through the fart press conference with Tom Sula. That might be the low point. Good gosh. All those things. But we're still here. And like it's so funny because I taught high school and I coached high school and all those things. And so we would be, at practice or film, and we'd show up Sunday after games or Monday, and the common sentiment from the high school athlete was so and so is trash if they lost any game. Oh, they're trash. They're trash. They're trash. And it was just like, no, they're not. They're a really good football team. But that's today's mindset is, if you have one bad play, you're a bad player. If you have one bad game, you're a bad team. That's not the reality. Allow yourself to have high hopes as a fan and buy into that and feel those lows when you lose to the Chiefs, when you get blown out. That sucks. But who are you going to be after, right? We're the faithful. We're not going anywhere. Not with what we've been through. Right now is a cherished time to be a fan of the 49ers. Look what's happening all throughout the division. Seattle lost back-to-back games. Cardinals lost back-to-back games. They're just a laughingstock. Rams lost 5 games in a row. Literally their entire star whatever is out. Donald's out. Robinson's out. Kupp's out. Stafford's out. Like, I mean, they're just hurt everywhere, which you never want. I don't like injuries at all. But, like, what I'm saying is their season's done. DUN. Like, they're over. 49ers are not. Even if you lose this game, which I don't think they are. I'll get into my predictions and all my bets and all those things later in this week. I'll get into top 5 players to watch. Casey Lehman worked on that one. He does great work. But, man, I just wanted to jump on today and just try to be in the moment. Oh, look at this. Lee Gallen just messaged me. He says, hey, John, how you doing? I love it. He's Mr. Flackers. He's the one that announced the pick from UK. I'll message him later on. He's coming out this weekend. Awesome. Which is going to be great. But, man, like, how cool is this? We have the opportunity to hang out. Our very first 49ers Rush road trip in Santa Clara. We'll see how it goes. And how this goes will determine how next year goes with how we're going to allocate our parties and all that kind of stuff and opportunities to bring stuff together. This is a good time, man. This is a very good time. Durant says this. I love when John is confident with the Niners win. Let's go. See you all there. I haven't picked the Niners to win every game. I have not. I have picked them to do both, to win most, not both, sorry. But we'll see it. We'll see soon. Robert says, born in 66. I got to experience the glory years. Faithful then, faithful now. That's what's up. And maybe, just maybe, this is the time period where new fans will be born and brought into this community. And they can say, remember when Eric Armstead came back from injury and Kyle coached against his protege? And everybody thought crazy things were going to happen, and the 49ers defense was the best. That's a story I want them to have. Anyway, appreciate you guys. We got a lot more content coming this week. Appreciate you, and as always, stay strong, faithful.